Steg?
Wow.
It's a Sega.
Wow.
All right, party people, the place to be. Welcome to Beef Episode 2. Title is The Rapture of Being Alive. What a freaking title, yo. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to try to do the whole season. I usually do it with a buddy, but he had to sit this one out because he's not sold on the show Beef yet. I'm sold on the show Beef yet. We also review the show called Dave. Check that out if you like Dave. I don't know if people that like Beef like Dave, but we love Dave, the Little Dicky show. But episode 2 of Beef, I know the whole series is out. I'm just taking this 1 week at a time because that's just how I live my life. Takes place, episode 2, right where it left off, which is at Amy's house, the restroom where Danny peed all over the place. And Amy is just pissed, man. She is so mad. She's running around the house. She has the gun in her hand. She's pointing it at the phone. She memorized Danny's license plate number, so she's looking him up, immediately taking action, calling him, leaving him threatening phone calls. Great scene. Amy's awesome. I love her anger, even though, it's a bit much. And then you have the husband walking in like, yo, what's going on? George. Laid back as always, nothing bothers him, And then we cut to Danny and his bro. What's the brother's name? I don't even know. Having a little barbecue at the pool. What I liked about this scene is when the woman starts walking down to the pool and sees Danny and the bro at the pool, and she just kind of turns around. She's like, nah, not for me. I want the pool to myself. I do that. We have a pool next to us, and I only go when there's no one there. So I get it. You got Danny just feeling really confident. He's feeling, he asserted himself, and he's just feeling really good. He's preaching to the brother, which he does often, and as usual, brother's not listening at all. He's like, you got to take you got to take your life by the horns type thing. And the brother's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going to be a crypto millionaire. Like, I got this, And the funny part about this is like, well, what is your plan? Danny asks his brother, and he's like, I'm going to turn 10,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to a million. He's like, you're just saying larger numbers, which is funny because that's kind of how like the younger generation thinks sometimes. Like their plans are like so basic, I've been there. Cut to Amy. So you have George basically defending Danny like, oh, maybe he had a bladder infection. Maybe why'd you piss him off? You have a way of pissing people off. And Amy's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, why are you defending this guy? Like, you should be defending me, which he should be, what a jerk. Even though Amy does kind of go off the edge a little bit. Back to Danny. So you got Danny with Isaac, the David Cho character, amazing character, acts this brilliantly. I love this David Cho Isaac character. They're unloading a bunch of laptop batteries. Apparently they're legit. We'll see. Isaac's clearly kind of a shady dude, but it's all good. And then you got Danny saying, look, I need a little more time to get you your money back. He wasted it all in the first episode. Isaac's like, it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. I'll just take your car. I'll just take your truck for now. I'll take the title. It's mine now, but it's all good. You got time to give me money back, Cut back to Amy. So we have Amy and George trying to find Danny. Amy says, even though George was being a little, whatever, Amy goes, he didn't like that you were Japanese. And that sets George off just enough, his curiosity just enough to follow Amy in this revenge scenario that we don't know where it's going. And as they park their car at this motel to find Danny, they see some kids that look a little suspicious, but they leave anyway. When they come back to the car, the tire's flat, and George can't replace the tire. George, the modern man, you know what I mean? Just incapable, a little, I don't know if the word is effeminate, just a little non-assertive, can't even replace a tire. This is coming from a man that doesn't do any housework whatsoever. I call people, but even George is too much of that for me. So annoying. And the kids offer $40 to change the tire. Fantastic. Loved it. Cut to Danny. So you got Danny and his brother lifting weights, and Danny persuading his brother to start a company together because Danny doesn't have any names to put another company in because he's used his name 100 times, I guess, or whatever. I don't know how business stuff works. And the brother is like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Cho Bros. That'll be our name. Boom. Cut back to Amy. Love this scene. Amy with the other housewife just talking about being parents and whatnot. Amy's like, man, I'm so jealous of you that you just get to sit at home all day. And the housewife goes, well, I don't really sit at home all day. I have my charities and I write and I'm on the phone with my friends talking. And it's like, dude, no, you actually don't do anything all day. Like, you're probably not really writing. You probably spend 10 minutes a day with the charity. So LA, I love it. I love when people think they're so important, but they're not. It's just such a thing, especially in places like LA. I've experienced it. You're not doing anything, housewife, okay? And that's okay. Just be proud of the fact that you don't do anything. You're gonna be all right. Oh, I guess the housewife brings up the footage, the ring footage. I don't know what it's called, next door footage with the car. Wouldn't the neighbors figure out by now that this is Amy's car? Like, it's just kind of it's just not quite adding up. But whatever, it's fine. It's a TV show. We'll keep it moving. Back to Danny. So you got Danny and his brother at the ex's house, at Danny's ex's house in Orange County, trying to get housework, trying to basically convince this family to do housework and network. And just a funny scene, really awkward. The brother's clearly a little bit more charismatic than Danny, a little bit more likable. And the husband of the ex is there. I love the line. Yeah, I heard grout is tricky. It's just such a line where you're like, you don't really care what you're saying. You're just trying to, like, I don't know, get out the conversation or whatever. It was just funny. Back to Amy. So now you have Amy and George getting ready for some sort of function. We don't know where they're going. And stupid George, man, can't even do a necktie. You know what I mean? Can't even tie a tie. It's like, what are we doing? What woman wants to be with a guy that doesn't know how to tie a necktie? Fellas, go on YouTube, learn how to tie a necktie. God damn it, Now you have Danny leaving a voicemail for Amy, threatening, and you have Amy immediately becoming escalated and going straight to social media, doing some stalking, trying to find Danny. Take some screenshots of another woman, trying to lure, Danny in. Smart, you know what I mean? This tactic has been around for years, And sending a DM to Danny's construction company or whatever company, landscaping company, immediately getting a reply from the brother with his shirt off. Hilarious. And Amy going, who is that? Because she's expecting Danny, not the brother. Now you have Amy and George and the little baby June, or child June, at this chair museum display, which was freaking awesome. There's just a bunch of chairs that you can't sit in because the chairs are the art. I loved it. It was cool. I want to go to a chair museum thing. It sounds like a lot of fun. I would even go to a couch museum thing. That'd be cool. And George is describing the chair, and I guess it was like a family heirloom that Jordan, this lady that Amy is trying to work with, trying to close a deal with, wants to buy the chair for $100,000, and George declines. $100,000 is a lot. It's like, George, dude, this would literally be zero work for you. You just get rid of the chair. And George and Amy get into this big argument, and it's just bad. It's just really bad. George is like, why are you always thinking about money? Why is that the only thing you care about? And it's like, Amy's like, dude, you don't work. Like, you've never had to work. And she had some really good points. I mean, it is always people that grew up with money or have a lot of money that are like denouncing money. It's like, nah, bro, like, you don't get it. Money's important, George is just, he's always been privileged, and he's still privileged because he has a wife that brings home, the bacon. So back to Danny. So you got Danny and the brother in the club. Danny's such a loser, man. He's trying to bond with the brother so bad. He's trying to preach to the brother so bad, and the brother's just not listening. He's DMing Amy, even though he doesn't know it's Amy. And Danny's just being so funny in this scene. I love when he goes to the bar and buys 2 shots, one for the bartender, and the bartender declines. And it's just, Danny wants to bond with someone so bad, but he's just a little off. He's a little socially awkward. He's not quite there, and the bonding thing never seems to work for the guy. And I kind of feel bad for him. Steven Yeun? He does a good job acting. He's kind of unlikable, I gotta say, but I think that's what the character calls for, and he does a good job of that. All right, we got back to Amy and George still arguing, just going at it, and Amy talks about, she admits to masturbating with the gun, and she tells George that sex with him is so vanilla. It's kind of sad. Amy was being really aggressive. I didn't like this fight. This couple's not a real couple. They're fractured. They don't really belong together. They're not attracted to each other. At least Amy doesn't really like George. I can't see her liking George in real life. It's just not a real thing. But I did want to say, as much as I dislike Danny, I don't watch TV shows where there's not one character I like Succession's like this huge hit. I don't like that show because there's really, to me, not an actual likable character. I can't do that. And I got to say, Amy is a likable character for me in this show. She's funny. She's assertive. She has too much of an anger issue to be friends with. I don't think I'd be friends with her, but she's really likable. And I kind of feel bad for her because she is busting her ass and just wants to be taken care of every once in a while. And it's just, I don't know, it's an interesting snapshot of like a family dynamic that probably exists a lot more now than it did in the past. And how there'd be like some resentment or like unfulfilled feelings from the woman in a situation like that, which totally makes sense. Ali Wong is amazing, man. She's so good. She's so good in this. I can't say the same for the Danny character. I don't know that the acting is that good. I know people love Steven, but Ali Wong is knocking this role out the freaking park, man. Then you have Danny and the brother leaving the club. You hear a voicemail from Amy at Danny just threatening him. My life is so full. You don't know how full my life is. I can't wait to be done with you so I can go back to my full life. Her life is actually not that full. She doesn't love her life. This focusing on Danny revenge thing is probably like weirdly the most fulfilling thing in her life right now, which is so odd, but it's given her something to put her energy into that is just in a weird way fulfilling her. Danny walks out to his truck, and written on the truck is, "I'm a bad driver. I'm a bitch. I'm poor." Really funny things to write on someone's car. "I am poor" is hilarious. Danny's pissed off. He hops in the car, has a little tiff with his brother, shoots off the opposite direction. Brother leaves with a couple girls. Danny's mad, gets in the car. You see Danny driving to Amy's house with a hammer, hops out the car, approaching this big, beautiful, luscious house. Cut to credits. So, we'll see. It's just going to be a back and forth. We don't know what's going to happen. I have a feeling the next episode is going to start right where it left off, just like 1 and 2 did. I think 2 and 3 did. I liked the episode. I thought it was pretty good. I don't have any predictions. I keep wondering if there's a romance here with Danny and Amy because they have weirdly so much in common, but I don't know. I don't necessarily see that. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I can't wait to see the rest of the show. So far, so good. Like and subscribe. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.